Hello friends, my name is Javascript, and first of all, thank you for coming to this particular video. And now today the plan is to actually learn this particular technology, which is Electron JS. And if you're unaware of what the Electron is actually a technology which enables you to build cross-platform desktop applications with JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. You can use all your favorite frameworks such as React, Vue, Angular with Electron and create amazing desktop applications. So that's really cool. Now today the plan is actually to create a music player with this particular technology called Electron. So the first thing which I have already done and you have to do is create a folder in which your project will be living. In my case, the folder is music Dhoom, which I have created. The next thing which you have to do is initialize a node project over here, which you can do with a command npm init, that is initialize, and hit enter. It will ask you several questions. Simply answer them, and then and if you don't answer them, you can simply say /y. That will automatically answer yes to all the questions. The next thing which you have to do is install Electron JS as a development dependency. So how will you do that? You have to write npm install /d and then Electron. Okay, so that will install Electron JS as a development dependency in our project. The next thing which you have to do is open this in Visual Studio Code, which I have already done over here. Now the main work starts. So before going any further, let's let's actually start coding. So there's like main.js. This is the file from where the execution of our whole application will start. So let's go to package and make some updates over here. First of all, there will be a command called start, which will start our application, and it will be Electron and a period, ELECTR1 Electron period. And the next thing is you have to simply notice over here the main file is main.js, and simply give it as a main.js instead of index.js. So that's important. Just change this if in your case it is index.js. So let's start. Actually, for the first thing which you have to do is simply import two things from Electron. So require Electron. Those two things are app and browser window. These two things you have to import from Electron. Now I just want to talk a bit about how Electron works before starting this, so that you can really get an idea. Actually, Electron has two types of process. First is called main process, and the other one is called renderer process. Now the responsibility of the main process is to actually communicate with the operating system and do all sort of like low level stuff. You can think of it like that. So if you want to show, like if you want to show a notification, you have to go to the main renderer main process. If you want to communicate with the file system, you have to go to the main process, and all other UI stuff is actually handled using a renderer process. Like everything in the DOM is actually handled with the renderer process. And there's a way to communicate between the main process and the renderer process, which we will be learning as we go ahead. So first of all, what you have to do is there are some event listeners which will help us to create an application. First of all, let's create a function that will create a window. So create window. Okay, create window, and let's quickly quickly create a window. So first of all, let's declare a global window so that we can access it everywhere. So we'll say main window is equal to null. Okay. So initially it will be null, and when we'll be calling the create window, we'll simply say main window is equal to new browser window. Okay, and then we can pass some configuration over here. First configuration is I'll pass is width. So I want 1280 as a width. Next is height. So I want 780 as a height. Some web preferences also will be giving. So we want node integration, like we want all the features of the node to be available in the render process. That's why we are giving it to be true. Okay, and the last one is it's called enable remote module. So now this will do what? This will enable us to access the main process through the render process without the IPC thing, so we can directly access it. That would be great. Otherwise we would have to use this IPC. Now what is IPC? IPC is actually, in simpler terms, if I have to explain you, it's like you can emit an event from the main process, access it in the render process, or you can emit an event from render process and access it in the main process. I think that's clear. And now the next thing which we'll be doing is we'll actually load our our UI part. So for that, let's create a folder called UI, which will contain all the UI part of our application, and let's create an index.html file which will actually hold everything. So let's start with this basic template, and let's name it music player. Okay, player, that's cool. And just for now, okay, music player. What is happening? Okay, let's save it. Now we have to load this particular thing in this particular window. So how will you do it? Simply, there's a global variable. I'll not say global, there's a predefined variable dir, which will give you the address of current working directory, and this you can then navigate towards wherever you want. UI/index.html. I hope so that's fine. That will do our work. The next thing is, whenever this thing is ready, so main window.on ready to show. Whenever this is ready to show, like everything has been loaded successfully, we want to simply say main window.show function. That will basically show this particular window. Okay, so let's actually use this function to create our window. Now how will you do it? In the app has a lot of predefined event listeners. So the first we want to listen is ready. So whenever our app is ready, we just want to do what we just want to start the application, right? So we'll simply say create window. This will create a window. And one more thing, like in few operating systems, what happened, after closing all the windows, even then your application is actually your application runs in the background. So we just want to call quit function, but the problem is the quit function creates some issue in Darwin, that is Mac. Okay, so to prevent this particular thing, there is something called, let me tell you, window all closed. When every window is closed, we actually can check that whether the platform is Darwin or not. So we can say app if process dot platform is not equal to Darwin. Like this quit function creates issues in Darwin, so we are just simply called not equal to Darwin. And the next thing which we'll be doing is very simple. We'll say app dot quit. Okay, this will basically stop our application, like if it is not in Darwin. So I believe that's it. That's all from this particular file. We'll be moving towards the render process for all other things. So let's actually run this application to really see whether our thing is working or not. So we'll say npm run start. That will start our start script. It is taking a bit of time. Oh yeah, you can see our music plays here. This is the content. Okay, this is the default menu. You can hide it, but for now I'll just be keeping it. At last I'll remove it. You want to remove it? Okay, let's do it. So if you want to remove that menu because you don't like that, there is something called menu auto hide menu bar. Simply set it to true. That will basically hide your menu bar. You can see there's no menu bar now. Yeah, so our music player, basic music player is there. The next thing is actually to make it work, make it workable, or make it functional actually. So how will you do that? Simple, let's create a render process, which is the process which controls the UI. So let's call it script.js. Okay, script.js. And the next thing we'll be doing is Next thing we'll be doing is simple actually linking this particular thing. Okay, and we can call it src over here, and we can simply now actually we can link this script.js where save this, and basically your script.js has been linked to your HTML file. The next thing we will be making a very basic like UI. So the first thing we'll be doing is, later on you can improve it, you can add your CSS and all, but for now I'll just put image tag which will show the album art of the file, the image file which we are actually playing. So the source is like by default, let's select some music placeholder, music album art placeholder. I think that will give me the, okay, I don't have my internet connected, so just wait for 2 minutes. Have my okay, connect, select network. Yeah, it's connected now. So search for now. This one is looking good. What do you say? This one is also looking good. Okay, let's use this one. This one is looking good. So let's save this image as, and it will now ask me where to save it. I'll simply give the project location, which is music dhoom UI. Let's create a new folder actually called img that will contain all the images, and let's place this yeah. Now as we have done that, the next obvious step would be to, okay, so that has our image. The next step would be to actually give it the address. So we'll simply say image slash placeholder. We don't want alt tag, we're going to give some width and a height, of course. So we're going to give like 300 width, height as also 300, so both of them are 300. The next thing we'll be doing is giving the title of the track over here, so that will be an h2. So this is the title, maybe some other information in this part of PM. So there's other informations, okay, like album art, genre, artist, all those things will be passing over here. Okay, so let's actually run it. We have closed the terminal. Okay, here we have the terminal, so let's try to use this particular terminal. So we'll say npm run start. Yeah, that's looking good. I mean, that's okay. Okay, and let's give a button. Right now we'll definitely be improving it. We just want to, it's time to build your concept, like how is everything gonna work, because your time is precious. So I just want to tell you as early as possible, and then later on, like if you want to come along for like styling and all, we'll do it together. So let's give a button over here. Let's call it select file. Okay, and select file, and this will have an ID called select file. Okay, this will enable us to select the file from the file system. Let's go to actually script, and select the file is equal to document dot get element by id, select file. I believe that's the thing. Select a file. Yeah, the next thing we'll be doing is actually importing few things from the Electron, from sorry is equal to require Electron, and the thing which we require is the remote. Okay, this remote module actually helps us to access the main process through this particular render process. And the dialog box, we need a dialog box to be opened when the user clicks select file. So for that particular thing to happen, this the remote thing we require. And the next thing will be, which we want to use actually is called dialog. So we can say dialog is equal to remote dot dialog. That will basically give us a dialog. What happened here? Okay, once we get the dialog, we just want to actually say select file dot on click. Like whenever this is clicked, we want to say dialog dot you can see actually there's a lot of options. So show error box, so message box, so all these things are there. So we want to show open file dialog box, right? Save file, not open file dialog box. Show open file dialog. And basically you have to pass actually two things over here. First, the second parameter is the options, with additional settings which you want to be here. The first one is actually the actual window through which you want to open. So how will you access the main window from here? So we can say simply main window. Oh wait, yeah, come on. Main window is equal to remote dot current window. Okay, so yeah, get current window. This will give you the main window, that is the current window. So we can simply say we have main window, and the second option is the options which you have to provide over here. So the first thing is I'll be providing as a filter, so that we only get we only get certain types of files in the open file. So the first thing which we want to give is a name. So name is music files. Okay, the next thing we want is extensions, which is actually an array. So we want to actually give we want to allow mp3 files, WAV files, and I cannot remember any other music extension right now. So we just want to allow these to do two types of file with this particular select file. And let me tell you amazing thing. Let's make this function an async function, because this is asynchronous thing. Okay, so this returns after you select the file. So we can say file is equal to await. Okay, that will basically give us the file. And if I log the file out, you'll actually understand what we are actually doing. So let's actually start our application again and see what is actually happening. So oh wait, what is happening? Okay, now if I go to select file, what happened? Okay, you can see only the mp3 files are visible, no any other files are not visible. You can see, and if I go to downloads, I can only select mp3 files, which is like Despacito over here. And if I go and check the console, you can see that this file object has been given, and this particular thing has a property called file paths, which is an array of all the files selected. So here in our case only one file has been selected, so it will be at the 0th location. So that's important. So playing the audio is very, very simple. Like you just have to tell like let audio be equals to new audio. Okay, and you have to pass the file name over here. So what you can do is like file paths, okay, at 0. So that will give you the first whatever file has been selected. and you can say audio.play. That will basically play the why do I close the application every time? Like, has it been closed? Yeah, but there's a few processes still running. Okay, so now you will see, like, and I don't want the copyright strike, so just I'll not play it. Maybe I'll just confirm you and tell you. Okay, so it's actually playing right now. I don't know how I can confirm you, but it's actually playing right now. So the music is being played. So that means, like, that's the way, right? So that's working, right? So let's do the next thing, which is let keep the app running. So we'll just, refresh the thing whenever we make a change. So the select file is working. So we are selecting a file of type mp3 and wav. That's great. The next thing is to actually get all the information from it. So that is actually, there's some extension. So let me give a search so that to find that particular extension. So music metadata. Picture Node.js JavaScript. I'm just doing the worst Google search, but still, like, that's okay. I think I'll find it. Music metadata. Is this that thing? I don't know. Actually, what we do is, like, we get a bitwise information of all these music album art. We convert it into base 64 and then we use it. I think this is that. This is the actual file. Is this the file? I don't remember actually. How to get the album art of a mp3 file in JavaScript. Yeah, that's what I want. So that's the question which I have, and yeah, that's the thing which we require. So let's go below JS media tags. There's this particular Node.js thing which can actually help. So let's use this JS media tags. I think this will be great, and we would be able to get our data from this particular thing. So let's actually copy this particular thing and paste it in our application. Why this two things is showing? Okay, that's okay. So so the next step is very pretty simple. So we just want to we want to close this particular thing. Okay, and we'll simply paste this over here, and okay, Control-Shift-V, hit enter. That will basically install JS media tags into application. Let's look at the JS media tag documentation a bit so that we can get a better idea about how this works. So this basically, let's read a function in this which has an on success callback and on error callback. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Okay, let's wait. Yeah, it has been installed. So as I've told you, you can access any Node.js module over here. So JS audio, whatever it was name, I don't remember, require JS audio tags. So let's name it also the same, which is the okay. Once we import this, the next thing we'll be doing is we'll play the audio once over here, and just do one thing, just make this particular thing global. Otherwise, two audios will be playing in the same time, so that you may not be wanting that. So let audio be equals to null. What am I doing, man? Is equal to null. Okay, and here let's remove this let. So that will basically create a new audio whenever like, and like kill the previous one so that everything is cool. So after this, what we'll do is we will get the metadata from that file. So we'll use this JS whatever thing is there dot read, and read, after read you have to give the location. So as we have already fetched the location, so we'll say select file dot file paths. Wait, why am I like using the select file? I need to use file dot file paths as 0. Okay, actually we'll just call like this will have 2 callbacks, I believe. Like wait, how are they actually giving the callbacks? So okay, so it's actually an object. So yeah, it's an object. This has on success callback, and this the other one, the next is on error callback. So, and I think it also gives the error when this error, yeah, and tag on this particular thing. So here we get error, okay, if there is any, and here we get tag which contains all the information. And we'll simply log the, what is happening, console. Yeah, that's fine. Next thing we'll be doing is actually, let's log this tag thing out so that you can really understand how this whole scenario is working actually. So I need a CMD here. So let's do one thing. Let's simply go to desktop, music Doom, yeah, and start it. So npm run start, that will basically start it. So yeah, that has started. If we select any music, I think that should actually start it. So Despacito, Control Shift I, you can see that object that has flags. Inside flags we have like tags, inside tags we have all the data. So you can see music composed by Despacito, everything. Okay, so everything you can get it over this particular place. So that's great. So let's actually start, and there's one more thing, there's an algorithm over here which is mentioned in the Stack Overflow, which converts it into base 64 like base 64 information. What it does is actually this particular thing, iterate over each data point, each bit, and then simply convert it into an like a character according to whatever bit it is. So just okay, so everything starts with here. So let's see, actually we'll be copying this particular algorithm for converting this into base 64. So we'll just paste this over here and go over here, if image whatever this is, we'll just copy this particular thing from here, and we just don't want this else part. So we don't want to do anything if this image is not available. Okay, so right now you can see this thing is like getting the picture from here. So what we'll do is like we'll set an ID for this particular image which we have. So we will set an ID. Let's set an ID, some like image, very simple ID, and let's pass this over here. So we'll say image and base 64. That is actually converting this particular picture information to a base 64 data. So let's run our application. So let's refresh this, and whoa, we got we got the album art, man. We got the album art. The next step is pretty simple. We just need to update the description and this this title and the description. That is very, very simple. So let's actually go and give this ID to these things. So ID will be title and info. Save it. Let's go to the script file and let's reference them over here. Actually, let's do it over here. So let info is equal to document dot get element by ID. Get element by ID info. The next step is let information we have. The next thing is what title. Yeah, title is equal to document dot get element by ID title. Okay, so like after like full this all image thing, let's actually set all these things. So the title dot inner text is equal to like tag dot tags dot title. So that's the title. Okay, so we have set that like the title over there. Now we'll be like simply going towards this thing called other info. So we'll do info dot inner HTML is equals to will give in bold tag. So we'll say artist /b, and then we can actually use this particular thing. So and we can see tag dot tags dot artist and br. So the next thing we want is of artist. What else we have? Let's see. We have comment genera. So what was the spelling, man? I forgot. GENRE. No. Okay, so let's give genre over here, and you can add as many information as you want over there. So that's it. So that will automatically start playing. So this was just a introduction sort of thing. So let's refresh this and let's select a file, and you can see all the information about this particular thing has been updated over here. So that's the starting. Okay, so you can elaborate a lot from here. So what I would suggest you is simply create a music player, very, very better looking. Like you can use CSS and all over here. So the next thing, you can control all the audio stuff from this audio tag. So you can say play, pause, you can get that timeline thing and all, how many time has been passed and all. So you can use all these things. This was just a starting point. Okay, and this is actually playing music right now. So you could not listen due to this copyright issue, but the thing is this is working, right? So just I wanted to give you a starting point so that you can start in Electron, and you can just decorate it and just simply comment down below your version of what you create out of this particular thing. Just make it very, very beautiful, and you will find the code in the descriptions below, so you can definitely check it out. That will be a better version. That will be a way, like I'll just make all the CSS and all in this in that version where in the description below. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe my channel. I really have very less subscribers right now, so just bye bye. Thank you.